I forgot my wallet at Target. That was the only reason I came home early enough to hear my husband give our house away. Not sell it, not rent it, not refinance it. Although knowing Derek, he probably would have called that being proactive. No. He gave it away in one sentence. I had our 6-year-old daughter Lily in the back seat, still mad because I had said no to a glittery unicorn water bottle that cost $17 and looked like it was designed by a committee of sugar addicts. We were supposed to be buying fruit, coffee, and a lemon cake for my mother. My mother had called 3 times that week. Come by Sunday, she said. I miss Lily. I miss you. I even miss Derek a little, but don't tell him. Men get puffy when complimented. So I asked my husband that morning. We haven't visited my mom in almost 2 months. Can we go after lunch? Derek was at the kitchen island, laptop open, serious face on, the kind men wear when the screen is actually asleep, but they want credit for pressure. Can't, he said. I've got work stuff. It's Saturday. Deadlines don't care. Apparently, neither did husbands. So I took Lily to Target alone. Halfway through self-checkout, with bananas, coffee, and my mother's lemon cake sitting there like witnesses, I reached into my purse and found lip balm, 2 receipts, a broken crayon, and no wallet. My phone was at 4%. Apple Pay wouldn't load. Lily asked if we were poor. The cashier, a teenage boy with acne and the emotional availability of a traffic cone, said, "You can suspend the transaction." I said, "Perfect. I love public failure with options." We drove home. I told Lily to wait in the car for 1 second because the garage was cool, the house was right there, and I just needed my wallet off the counter. The door from the garage into the kitchen was cracked open. That was odd. Derek always closed it. He said bugs got in. He said it like ants had signed a lease. Then I heard him laughing. Not work laughing. Not client said something stupid laughing. Soft laughing. Warm. Young. I stopped with my hand on the door. Derek said, "She's at her mom's with the kid." My breath caught. Then he added, almost smiling through the words, "The house is ours tonight." I looked at my wallet sitting on the kitchen counter. At least one thing in that house was where it was supposed to be. I did not walk in. I wish I could tell you I kicked the door open, threw the lemon cake at his head, and delivered a speech so sharp attorneys later quoted it. I didn't. I stood in the garage beside a recycling bin that smelled like old seltzer cans and watched my hand shake. Small shake. Stupid shake. Like my fingers had just learned something my brain was refusing to accept. From the back seat, Lily called. "Mom, did you find it?" I almost answered. I had my mouth open. Then Derek spoke again, lower this time. "No, she won't be back until tomorrow afternoon. Her mom always makes a thing of it." A thing. My mother making chicken soup and cutting mango for Lily was a thing. My mother keeping the porch light on until we arrived was a thing. My mother asking if Derek wanted extra rice even though he had skipped her house 3 times in a row was apparently just background noise in the great romantic tragedy of his pants. I leaned closer to the crack in the door. I hated myself for it. Then I leaned anyway. Derek said, "Come after 6. Use the side gate." The side gate. That hit differently. The side gate was where Lily kept her chalk bucket, where we had painted little stepping stones last summer. One said Mom, one said Dad, one said Lily in letters so uneven they looked drunk. He wanted another woman walking past that. I pressed my palm flat against the garage wall. The wall was cool. Real. I needed real. Lily called again, "Mommy?" That word saved me from becoming a ghost. I stepped back, picked up my wallet from the counter without fully entering the kitchen, and closed the garage door quietly. Too quietly. Like I was the one sneaking. When I got into the car, Lily was holding her stuffed rabbit upside down by one ear. "Daddy working?" she asked. I buckled my seatbelt. "Yes," I said. My voice came out normal. That scared me a little. "What kind of work?" I looked at the house, our house. Cream siding, blue door, one crooked planter I kept meaning to fix. "Bad kind," I said before I could stop myself. Lily frowned. "Like emails?" I laughed once. It sounded ugly. Exactly like emails. Then I drove back to Target with my wallet in my lap and my marriage bleeding quietly in the passenger seat. I still paid for the groceries. That detail annoys me. You'd think a woman who just heard her husband invite another woman into their home would abandon the bananas. Let the lemon cake die in Target custody. Walk into the woods and start a new identity. But no. I went back to self-checkout. Scanned everything again, even used the coupon for the coffee, because apparently Betrayal does not cancel my interest in saving $2.40. Lily asked if Grandma liked lemon cake. She loves it, I said. Does Daddy like lemon cake? He likes whatever is convenient. What? Nothing, baby. The teenage cashier looked at me like he sensed adult damage but had not been trained in aisle 7 for that. On the drive to my mother's, I replayed Derek's voice. She's at her mom's with the kid. The lie was so easy for him. That was the part I kept touching like a bruise. Not, I think she left. Not, she might be gone. No. He spoke like he had arranged my life for me. Like my daughter and I were props moved off stage so the real scene could begin. My mother lived in Round Rock in a one-story brick house with wind chimes that sounded like guilt and soup already warming before visitors arrived. She opened the door and smiled. Then saw my face. Mothers are annoying that way. You spend 33 years learning how to pretend, and they still read you like a grocery receipt. What happened? She asked. Nothing. She looked past me at Lily. Go wash your hands, sweetheart. There are strawberries. Lily ran inside. My mother lowered her voice. Emma? That was all. My name. I almost broke right there on her doormat, holding a Target bag with bananas poking out like idiots. Instead, I walked inside and set the groceries on the counter. I forgot my wallet, I said. My mother blinked. That is not a tragedy. No, I said, but it made me go home. She didn't speak. I looked down and noticed one of Lily's socks was slipping off. I bent and fixed it, because apparently even when your marriage is on fire, children's socks remain committed to escape. Then I told her. Not everything. Just the sentence. She's at her mom's with the kid. The house is ours tonight. My mother grabbed the counter. Not dramatically, just enough. Then she said, very calmly, do not go back there alone. I laughed because she had said it like I was retrieving leftovers from a dangerous fridge. I live there. She looked at me. Not tonight, you don't. My best friend Rachel arrived at my mother's house 37 minutes later wearing leggings, a baseball cap, and the expression of a woman prepared to commit several minor crimes but hoping for paperwork instead. Rachel worked in HR at a tech company, which meant she knew how to smile while documenting disasters. She hugged me first. Then she said, okay, before we burn anything, what exactly did he say? I repeated it. She's at her mom's with the kid. The house is ours tonight. Rachel shut her eyes. Oh, I hate him in full sentences. My mother set tea on the table even though nobody wanted tea. It was her crisis language. Some women scream. My mother boiled water. Lily was in the living room watching cartoons, laughing at a dog wearing sunglasses. The sound made everything worse and better at the same time. Rachel pulled out a notebook. You need proof. I heard him. You need proof that survives him saying you misunderstood. That landed, because Derek would say that. He would tilt his head, soften his voice, and tell me I was tired, stressed, maybe too sensitive because I had been emotional lately. Men love calling women emotional when their own behavior requires a cleanup crew. Rachel asked, do you have cameras? Doorbell, backyard garage. Good. Any smart speakers? One in the kitchen. Her eyes sharpened. Check call logs. Sometimes they sync. I stared at her. I don't even know how to do that. Great, then you might not either. My mother muttered. Men with technology are only dangerous until settings appear. I almost laughed. Almost. We opened my laptop. My hands kept missing keys. I typed our password wrong twice. The third time I got in and immediately saw a message preview on the shared tablet app. From a number saved as DM. Consulting. Can't wait. Should I bring wine? My stomach went cold. DM Consulting. Derek had once told me that was a vendor. Of course he had. A vendor with wine and sidegate access. Rachel leaned closer. Do not reply. I wasn't going to. I'm saying it because your face looks like it wants to become a felony. Fair. Another message appeared. Is she really gone all night? Then Derek's reply. Yes. Her mom wanted them. Finally. Finally. Such a small word, mean little thing. I took a screenshot. Then another. Then one more, because my thumb was shaking and I didn't trust the first two. Rachel put her hand over mine. Now, she said, we make him believe his plan still works. I looked at her. And for the first time since the garage, my sadness moved aside just enough for something sharper to stand up. I texted Derek at 4:18. Made it to Mom's. Lily's already stealing strawberries. We'll probably stay the night. I stared at the message before sending it. It felt gross, like handing him rope and saying, "Here, be yourself." He replied in under a minute. "Good. I'll catch up on work. Love you. Love you." I read those words while his other message sat on the tablet like a dead bug. Yes. Her mom wanted them. Finally. Rachel saw my face. "Don't eat the phone." I wasn't. "You were considering it." My mother walked in with a plate of sliced mango. Men always say "love you" when they want the receipt hidden. "Mom?" "What?" "I was married to your father for 11 years. I have field research. My father had left when I was 14 for a woman who sold skincare products and called herself a wellness architect. My mother rarely mentioned it. When she did, she made it sound like he had wandered into traffic and married a brochure. I suddenly understood why she had grabbed the counter earlier. This wasn't new pain to her. It was old pain wearing my house slippers. At 5:52, our backyard camera sent a motion alert. Rachel opened it. Derek was in the patio doorway wearing a blue button-down I had bought him for our anniversary. He had showered. His hair was damp. He carried 2 wine glasses outside and set them on the table. 2. My throat tightened. He went back in. At 6:07, the side gate opened. A woman stepped into our backyard. Tall, blonde, dark jeans, cream sweater. She looked comfortable, not nervous. That bothered me more than if she had looked guilty. Guilt would have meant she knew she was entering a place that belonged to someone else. Comfort meant she had rehearsed belonging there. Rachel zoomed in. "Do you know her?" I did. Not well. Enough. Her name was Natalie Brooks. She worked with Derek's department sometimes. I had met her at a company picnic in May. She had complimented Lily's curls and asked me where I bought my sandals. My sandals. God, the details people take from you before they take more. The camera showed Derek opening the sliding door. Natalie smiled. He pulled her inside. Not hugged. Pulled. Like he had been waiting. My mother turned away. Rachel whispered, "Emma." I watched the empty patio, the 2 wine glasses, the little chalk stones by the gate. Mom, Dad, Lily. Natalie had stepped over them without slowing down. I picked up my keys. Rachel caught my wrist. "No storming in." "I'm not storming. You look very storm-shaped." I looked at the screen again. My house, my table, my husband, her sweater. "I'm going home," I said. Then I corrected myself. "I'm going to collect what's mine." We drove in Rachel's car because she said my driving face looked biblical. My mother stayed with Lily. I kissed my daughter on the forehead before leaving. She smelled like strawberries and shampoo. She didn't look up from her crayons. "Are you going to get Daddy?" she asked. I froze. Rachel, bless her evil little HR heart, answered first. "Mommy's gonna get some grown-up stuff." Lily nodded like that made sense. Children accept vague nonsense better than adults. Honestly, we should learn from them. On the way back to my house, Rachel reviewed the plan. "We don't go inside yelling." "I know. We record if legal." "I know. We do not throw anything unless it is soft." "I know. And no speeches." I looked at her. "No speeches?" "You rehearse pain in your head and it comes out like a podcast. Keep it short." I hated how well she knew me. We parked 2 houses down. Mrs. Keller from across the street was watering plants in the dark, because suburban neighborhoods are just surveillance systems with lawns. She waved. I waved back. Perfectly normal. Just a wife arriving to document betrayal while a retired woman watered petunias at 7 p.m. Rachel whispered, "America." We walked through the side path, the same side gate Natalie had used. I paused at the chalk stones. Mom, Dad, Lily. The purple chalk around Lily's stone had smeared from last week's rain. I bent down and wiped a leaf off it. Unnecessary. I did it anyway. From inside, music played softly. Derek hated music during dinner, said it distracted from conversation. Apparently, conversation improved with adultery. Rachel started recording on her phone. I used my key and opened the back door. The kitchen smelled like garlic bread and wine. Garlic bread, that almost made me laugh. A man planning to cheat in his family home had made garlic bread. The confidence. The carbs. Derek and Natalie were standing near the kitchen island, too close. His hand was on her waist, her fingers were on the buttons of his shirt. Not fully undone. Enough. Derek turned. For half a second, his face did nothing. Then everything happened. "Emma." Natalie stepped back so fast she hit the counter. I looked at the wine glasses, then at the garlic bread, then at my husband. "I forgot something earlier," I said. His eyes moved to Rachel's phone. "What is this?" I smiled. Not nicely. Funny, I was gonna ask you the same thing. Derek said the first stupid thing. He had many options, and somehow he chose the collector's edition. This isn't what it looks like. Rachel made a noise behind me, a tiny gasp laugh, like her soul had tripped. I looked at Natalie's hand, still hovering near his shirt like she had forgotten where to put it. What does it look like, Derek? He opened his mouth. Nothing useful came out. Natalie found her voice first. I should go. I turned to her. No, you should stay. You were invited. Her face flushed. I didn't know you were coming back. That sentence. Not I didn't know he was married. Not I didn't know this was your home. No. I didn't know you were coming back. Very honest in the ugliest possible way. Derek stepped forward. Emma, please, let's talk privately. No. Rachel doesn't need to be here. Rachel has a phone and better judgment than both of you combined, so she stays. Rachel whispered, I have been promoted. Derek rubbed his face. I panicked. You panicked and made garlic bread? His jaw tightened. You said you were going to your mom's. I said I might stay. You texted that you would. Yes, I said, after I heard you tell her the house was hers tonight. Natalie looked at him. That was interesting. You told her that? Derek snapped. Not like that. I laughed. There it was again. Not like that. As if Betrayal had a pronunciation issue. I pulled out my phone and played the screen recording from the tablet messages. Can't wait. Should I bring wine? Is she really gone all night? Yes, her mom wanted them. Finally. Natalie's face changed at finally. Good. Let everybody get a little poison. I looked at her. He told you we were unhappy, right? She swallowed. He said you were basically living separate lives. We ate pancakes together this morning, Derek said. That doesn't mean we're fine. No, I said, but it means you knew where I kept the syrup while telling another woman I was gone for your convenience. He looked exhausted. I used to soften when he looked like that. Now it just looked like poor management. Natalie grabbed her purse. I'm leaving. I stepped aside. She walked toward the side door, then stopped near the chalkstones outside. Through the glass, I saw her look down. Mom, Dad, Lily. For the first time, she looked ashamed. Too late. Still something. Derek whispered, Emma, I made a mistake. I picked up one of the wine glasses and poured it into the sink. Then let me make one thing clear, I said. You don't get to invite someone into my home and call me the interruption. Derek slept in the guest room that night. I say slept because the door was closed. For all I know, he stared at the ceiling and practiced being sorry. Men love rehearsing once the audience leaves. Rachel stayed on the couch. My mother brought Lily back the next morning with muffins, clean pajamas, and the calm fury of a woman who had already made peace with prison if necessary. Lily ran to me. Did Daddy finish work? I hugged her too tightly. Derek came out of the hallway wearing yesterday's shirt and the face of a man who had discovered consequences were not theoretical. Hey, sweetheart, he said. Lily waved and asked for a muffin. Children are merciful because they don't have enough information. My mother looked at Derek. Morning. One word. Flat as a shovel. He nodded. Linda? She walked past him like he was furniture she disliked. Rachel helped me gather documents, bank statements, mortgage papers, the shared tablet, camera clips, screenshots. I felt ridiculous printing evidence while Lily watched cartoons, but then I remembered Derek had planned romance next to her cereal bowls. Ridiculous had already moved in. At noon, Natalie texted me. I didn't know he was telling you he had work. He said you two were done except paperwork. I stared at it. There it was. The married man's script with new curtains. I sent back one sentence. Then why did you use the side gate? No reply. Derek tried to talk while I packed a small bag for Lily and me. Emma, I ended it with the woman who left 12 hours ago. I mean it. Timing is everything. He sat on the bed. I felt invisible. I folded Lily's pajamas slowly. Not because they needed folding, they were going into a duffel bag. But my hands needed rules. You felt invisible, I said. So you made me disappear. He blinked. I didn't. You told her I was at my mom's. You told her the house was yours. You told her I was gone. His eyes reddened. I was unhappy. So was I sometimes. I bought throw pillows. You bought wine for another woman. Not my finest line. Maybe my finest. Hard to tell. He lowered his head. I don't want to lose our family. I zipped the bag. You should have thought about that before using our daughter's weekend visit as your alibi. The room went quiet. Downstairs, Lily laughed at something on TV. That sound had always made the house feel full. Now it made the walls feel thin. I picked up the duffel bag. Derek stood. "Where are you going?" I looked at him. "To my mother's," I said. "For real this time." My mother did not say, "I told you so." She was better than that. Worse, actually. She made soup, the kind with chicken, ginger, and enough vegetables to suggest healing could be forced through broth. She put a bowl in front of me and said, "Eat before you become only bones and attitude." Lily loved being at Grandma's. She got strawberries for breakfast and permission to sleep with 3 stuffed animals, which she described as a family meeting. I envied her management style. The first lawyer I spoke to was named Marisol Vega. She had silver hoops, tired eyes, and a desk so organized it made me feel personally attacked. She watched the clips, read the messages, asked careful questions. Did he use marital funds to prepare for the visit? I thought of the wine, the groceries, the new sheets I had found still in packaging in our bedroom closet. New sheets. That detail made me put my hand over my mouth. Marisol waited. Lawyers are good at silence. Mothers are too. Different weapons. "He bought sheets," I said. Rachel, who had come with me, whispered, "Oh, I'm going to need a minute to hate him in HD." Marisol wrote something down. Derek started calling less after he realized every conversation became documentation. He sent long texts instead. Paragraphs about loneliness, confusion, regret, childhood patterns. One message had the phrase emotional starvation, and Rachel nearly threw my phone into a potted plant. Natalie sent one final message. "I'm sorry, I should have asked more." I believed her. I also didn't care enough to comfort her. That is a strange freedom, realizing someone can be sorry and still not be your responsibility. A week later, Derek came to my mother's house. He brought Lily a stuffed turtle and me a bouquet of white flowers. My mother opened the door, looked at the flowers, and said, "Funeral or apology?" Derek swallowed. "Apology." "Then they're underdressed." I heard that from the hallway and, unfortunately, laughed. Derek looked hopeful when he saw me. That annoyed me. Hope on his face felt like trespassing. "Can we talk?" he asked. "We can talk on the porch." "Alone?" "No." My mother sat in the living room 10 feet away, knitting something violent-looking. Rachel was on FaceTime on my phone, muted but visibly ready. Derek looked smaller. "I miss you," he said. I looked at the flowers, then at him. "You missed me while telling another woman I was conveniently gone." He closed his eyes. "I hate what I did." "Good," I said. "Keep going. That's the first honest thing you've said all month." The house sold 6 months later. Not to Natalie, obviously, though I did briefly enjoy imagining the listing description. Charming family home. Updated kitchen, betrayal-friendly side gate, great natural light for bad decisions. Derek wanted to keep it at first. "For Lily," he said. I looked at him across Marisol's conference table. "You invited another woman past Lily's chalk stones. Don't use her name as wallpaper now." He stopped asking after that. The settlement was not a revenge fantasy. Nobody got dragged away in handcuffs. No dramatic courtroom collapse. Real life is cheaper and more annoying. But Derek had to account for the money he spent setting up that night. The wine, the extra groceries, the hotel charge I later found from 2 months before, the new sheets. The sheets bothered Marisol too. She circled that receipt like it had insulted her personally. Natalie's company transferred her to another office. I heard that from Rachel, who heard it from someone in HR, which meant it had gone through the gossip dishwasher and come out sanitized but still recognizable. Derek got weekends with Lily after we worked through custody. Supervised at first, then structured. I did not punish him through our daughter. I wanted to. Some mornings I wanted to be petty enough to need a permit. But Lily deserved a father who showed up. And Derek, to his credit, or inconvenience, started showing up sober, ashamed, and on time. I rented a small townhouse closer to my mother. It had terrible closet space, good morning light, and a kitchen window over the sink. The first night there, Lily and I ate cereal for dinner on the floor because the table delivery got delayed. "Is this camping?" she asked. "Yes." "Inside camping?" "Exactly." She nodded, satisfied, and spilled cereal on the rug we did not yet own emotionally. A month later, we went to my mother's on a Sunday. No drama, no excuse, just us. My mother opened the door and hugged Lily first, then me. "You're early," she said. "I know. You forgot something?" I smiled. "No." Then I thought of my wallet on the kitchen counter that day. The cracked garage door. Derek's voice. The sentence that had split my life in two. I looked at Lily running toward the strawberries. No, I said again, softer. I remembered. That afternoon, I sat on my mother's porch with a cup of tea I actually wanted. The wind moved through the chimes. Not guilt this time. Just sound. 3 months after the divorce papers were signed, Lily asked if Grandma's house was our Sunday place now. I was buckling her into the car seat, one knee on the driveway, one coffee balanced on the roof like a woman making poor but necessary choices. Yeah, I said. I guess it is. She nodded seriously. Good. Grandma has better strawberries. Fair. Brutal, but fair. Derek was trying. I'll give him that much, because lying about it would make me too much like him. He showed up for pickup on time. He packed Lily's snacks. He no longer sent me apology essays with subject lines that sounded like rejected TED Talks. Natalie never contacted me again. Good. Some silence is a gift. Some silence is just people finally finding the correct door. Rachel still called Derek Mr. House is ours, but only when Lily wasn't around. My mother pretended not to enjoy it. She absolutely enjoyed it. One Sunday I drove Lily to my mother's with a lemon cake in the passenger seat. I remembered my wallet. I checked twice because trauma makes you practical in stupid little ways. At a red light, Lily asked, "Are you happy, Mommy?" I looked at her in the mirror. Not perfect, not fixed, not floating through life with inspirational music. But I was no longer standing outside my own kitchen listening to someone erase me. Yes, I said, I'm getting there. And for once, that was enough.